Hi there, my name is Inakyu, and it's Pride Month. I don't know if you can tell or haven't noticed, but I'm saying it here first. There will always be love and respect on this channel. Celebrate being yourself, loving who you want, being who you want, loving who you are. Gay rights. Yeah, that's it. If you don't vibe with that, then you better sit tight because I'm about to recommend you some great LGBTQ+ anime. Yes, there are great shows with representation out there for you. And yes, shockingly, not all anime fetishizes gay and lesbian couples. As an ally with a platform, I feel like I need to draw more attention to these shows because they are so good. Either way, let's start this recommendation list off with Banana Fish. When this show came out like 3 years ago, for some reason I didn't hear of it. I probably was just obsessed with one show and just stayed in that bubble. I myself got recommended to watch it just a few months ago. Way back when it was released, I probably just saw people talking about it online and just thought it was just yaoi and nothing more. But holy shit was that wrong. Like, if you're looking for something that's cute and sweet, Banana Fish is not that. This show will make you so invested in its characters, you will be sobbing and then wanting to get to the next episode so quick because you just want to know what happens next. It really is much more than a yaoi. The characters, the story, the soundtrack is amazing. You know what? I'm gonna put the soundtrack on right now. Brought to you by the studio that has given you Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen, Banana Fish follows Ash, a leader of a gang in New York City who has a sick brother who has only said 2 words since his return from war. Banana Fish. When he learns that Banana Fish isn't a person but a drug, this leads him down a path of murder, crime, and cute boys. And just a warning, because it is a crime drama, there are some scenes that could trigger some people, so be careful. But other than that, if you are looking for something that hits you, something deep and intelligent, if you want a show that's kind of like, it gave me the same vibe as Bakano, if you want a show where you fall in love with its characters and messes you up emotionally, this is that show. Like, yes, the main characters, gaybies, gay. There is so much about it. It literally can't just be summed up as a yaoi anime. It's a dark show, it can get depressing, but it also balances it with comedy and relaxing scenes. Just please watch it. Moving on. Bloom Into You. If you're looking for a non-abusive, non-baiting, well-written, well-animated, cute Yuri show, you found it. This is just a good and real romance in general, like sexuality aside. If you want a cute romance, then you should really watch this show. We follow first-year student Yu, a hopeless romantic, coming to terms as to what falling in love feels like. After dreaming of getting her first confession and it happening, she feels nothing. She then finds comfort with an upperclassman, Toko, who also relates to her, saying that she's never felt anything when a guy has confessed to her either. And then suddenly, Toko tells Yu that she has feelings for her. While Yu does love her friend and is taken back by the sudden confession, she tries to continue to figure out why she doesn't get those butterflies and that glowing feeling still. But she is still open to see if she can have that with Toko. See, what's so interesting about this show is that the romance isn't 100% immediately. The moments aren't really cliche, they're real and they're relatable, and I have seen myself in Yu. When I see the main character in all of the shoujos that I've consumed, I'm not really putting myself in their place. I usually see them and wow, she's funny, wow, she's silly, but like reacting wise, I know it's an anime. But with this show, I was actually able to identify with a lot of it. We see how our main character struggles and feels isolated from her friends and especially Toko. They seem to fall in love so easily, get swept away by whatever happens to them. And you see, this clearly isn't just a lesbian/Yuri love story. It's a show that gives light to someone who could be aromantic, asexual, and they show it to us with such a slow burn of a show. We follow our main character and see how she feels and how she wants to feel something. This is a love story with such amazing scenes. There is some mushy-gushy stuff, but honestly, the moments that stuck with me were more of the relatable ones. And overall, I just felt really good watching the show. I'd say this is a must on a recommendation list. All the feels are here. Anyway, let's continue to our next show, Wandering Sun. Wandering Sun is a show that I've heard so much about and actually is the show that made me want to make this video. The last two shows mentioned are shows that I picked up randomly over the years. When I saw the description of this show saying that it's about a transgender character, the light went off in my head and I was like, I should make a recommendation video about representation, so here this is, and this is Wandering Sun. We follow two friends, a girl who is biologically male and a boy who was born biologically female. Together they find comfort in one another and their shared experience, but their lives become even more complicated when they transition from grade school to middle school. We see their struggles in trying to make new friends as they are faced with learning to deal with harsh realities of growing up transgender. We watch as our main character struggles with themselves and how they struggle with how people see them. Yeah, it's very new to see in anime, and I really liked it. There's also some great social commentary in here. There was a scene where two girls in Nitori, the main character's school, the two girls show up in the boys' uniform and all the kids don't really seem to mind or care. But when Nitori has always shown up as a girl to school, they found it weird and perverted. Makes you think of societal norms. It's just so new to me because I'm so used to transgender characters being sometimes like an alien in some shows, the butt of a joke. Sometimes they're belittled, but here they're written as people, they're written as humans. Shocking, I know. And there's such a huge cast in Wandering Sun, and none of them feel pointless. All of them feel whole and necessary to the story. Each of them are far from boring. And the writer does an amazing job keeping you on your toes with what our characters face. And while I would have also loved to see the adults and parents of the kids' perspective in this show, it was such a really cool perspective to put it as a child growing up rather than someone already in high school and stuff. Yeah, this show just left me feeling incredibly whole, and Wandering Sun is definitely a show that I won't forget. Given. This show was highly recommended to me by a fellow creator, Adara the Shallot, so shout out to her for recommending it to me, and I'm so glad that she did. What she told me was that this show is all about romance and music. That's all I knew about it going in, and boy does it exceed my expectations that really didn't exist, but honestly the music was great, and I really loved the characters. But again, I didn't really know what to expect because the last romance music anime was Your Lie in April, and I'm still hurting. But honestly now, I'm hurting in a whole new way. Especially because while Your Lie in April made me fall in love with its characters and its story, there was also some sort of magic to Your Lie in April, which I loved. Given, though, has more of a real atmosphere to me, though. The relationships didn't feel like crafted together, it felt real. And with this show, instead of it being classical music, Given gives us a rock band. The show follows a young, shy, and timid boy who seems to always have this old guitar with him wherever he goes. And the thing is, he doesn't know how to play it. Eventually, when he meets the troubled popular boy at school, he gets angry at the main character for letting the strings on his guitar rust. After this encounter, our main guy then begs him to teach him how to play. We get introduced to the members of a rock band, and a friendship and even more starts to blossom. Other than the romance, there is a lot more put into this. I'd say the focus of the show was split evenly between romance and self-expression and grief. It was super wholesome, it made me laugh, it made me cry. Nothing problematic really happened, and the music was really solid. Overall, I'd say this was worth a watch. Sweet Blue Flowers. I'm gonna start this recommendation off by saying that this show was made by the same writer who wrote Wandering Sun. This show was a banger from the get-go with that in mind. They masterfully told a story about a transgender kid, and I could not wait to see their take on a lesbian love story. I literally watched it immediately the moment I read that it was made by the same person. It tells the story of two girls who were once childhood friends. They reunite after 10 years in high school and learn how to rekindle their friendship, as well as learn to handle their own relationships and feelings with other characters. It's a very simple high school romance anime, but simple is not bad. It means it doesn't disappoint. It shows the story so carefully. The colors, the animation, the writing is all there for you to watch something good and something sweet. I'd say it's a show that you'd want to watch when you just want to feel peaceful and vibe and just feel good. Something I'd say that was really cool about this show, it's about these two girls who are different and growing in their own way and growing in their relationships. Akira struggles with a boyfriend, and we also see the inner feelings of Fumi as we see her get into her first real relationship. It really is interesting to see the straight couple and the gay couple side by side. Seeing sexuality through the lens of a friendship and seeing it through the lens of a relationship is really unique. It really is just a good slice of life, like brain off, enjoy, and the show especially tackles themes of how, when, and to who do you come out to. There were some slow moments, but overall it's a good time. Okay, while those shows are, I would say, my main recommendations, I definitely want to point a spotlight to two amazing shows in one movie. Ouran High School Host Club, Carol and Tuesday, and Dokusei. Ouran is an anime staple, and if you haven't watched it yet, you definitely should get on it. The reason why this show deserves to be mentioned is that we have a main girl who is comfortable with her sexuality. She's comfortable being herself. She doesn't care what pronouns are used on her. She explicitly states that she doesn't care for labels. She also doesn't mind when her accidental first kiss is with a girl. Very good, great character, hilarious show. Definitely watch it. Another hilarious watch is definitely also Dokusei. It's an anime film that is so incredibly sweet and romantic, and also had me laughing out loud during the watch. It's so good and definitely one of my favorite romance anime movies that I've seen this year. The two main boys aren't only just so adorable together, the movie definitely tackles sexuality and coming out. Just if you feel like you haven't seen a great anime romance film in a while, I rave about it in another video on my channel, so link in the description for that. Just if you love love, watch this. Let's move on to the last show that I'm recommending, Carol and Tuesday. Definitely one of the prettiest shows visually and musically. While it isn't really that big in the romance department, I have to shout it out because of how diverse it is. All the people of color are here, queer couples, androgynous characters, and the world of this show is just super cool. It's sci-fi and slice of life, and also takes place in the same universe as Cowboy Bebop. So definitely had to be mentioned in this video. Yep, that was the video. That was a lot. I hope you found an anime that sparked your interest. Like, comment, subscribe, all of it, none of it. Bell. Please let me know of any other anime that has great LGBTQ plus representation. I've heard number 6 is good, but I've also heard other things about it. But please let me know what you recommend. What do you think? Let me know. It's not like I care or anything.